Jungkook in Tokyo? Isn't he still in the military? Why is HYB silent? Why are fans hysterical? What is really hidden? Is this a sign of separation? Or is it just the beginning of something bigger? Why did Jungkook show up in Tokyo when he was supposed to be in a military camp? Is it really going to come out early? Who is secretly waiting for him in Japan? And the most shocking, is it true that a giant company is preparing to steal Jungkook from HYB? These questions hit the heads of the army like a sledgehammer. Just when the world thought Jungkook was having a quiet time in the military, disappearing for a moment from the spotlight, without a signal, without a trace, reports suddenly emerged that seemed to shake the very roots of BTS's foundation. Tokyo, a city of neon lights and too many secrets to uncover in one night, witnesses an unexpected arrival. But this is not just a visit. It's not a vacation. This is not an impromptu photo shoot. This is not a secret project as usual. Here is something much bigger and more alarming. What really happened behind Jungkook's silent move across the ocean to Japan? A blurry photo at Haneda Airport showed a tall figure dressed in a dark suit, with a hat and mask, but unable to hide an aura all too familiar to millions of people around the world. Army panicked. It didn't take long for the Japanese media to realize that the person who had just landed was not just any celebrity. It was Jungkook, the golden magne, who was supposed to be serving his country, not showing up in the middle of Tokyo night with a gaze that no one could read. Does that mean he's out of the military? Is there a secret dispensation? And more importantly, what does all this have to do with a large Japanese company that has just opened a new position for creative global strategist with international artist background? This suspicion did not come out of nowhere. While the Korean public is still busy discussing the military schedules of the other BTS members, the news of Jungkook's arrival in Tokyo ignited wild theories among Army Global. Some call this the beginning of a global solo project. Some also refer to this as a farewell signal from HYB. But more surprisingly, some swear that this was a closed-door meeting to sign a contract with one of Japan's largest technology and entertainment companies, which was later revealed to be interested in forming a new global music division with Jungkook as its main face. How is that possible? How could a Jungkook who is known to be loyal, disciplined, and dedicated suddenly appear abroad without an official escort? Does HYB know about it? Or is it that HYB is powerless to stop him? One anonymous source close to HYB's internal environment even dared to say something that made her heart stop for a moment. This is no ordinary trip. Jungkook came to Tokyo not just to meet. He wanted to test if there was still freedom in him after everything that had happened. Does that mean he's questioning his role in the system that raised him? Does the pressure of public expectations, tight schedules, and a constantly controlled identity make him want to choose a different path? And this is where everything gets darker. Jungkook is not just BTS's lead vocalist. He is a symbol. He is hope. And if the symbol starts to move in an unpredictable way, what will happen to everything? Why hasn't HYB given an official statement yet? Shouldn't this be a national issue? If Jungkook really got out of the army early, why is the Korean media silent, while the Japanese media sniff out something bigger? Even more surprising, as fans began to dig deeper, it was discovered that one of the creative directors of the Japanese company had been a fan of BTS since 2016 and had said in a previous interview that someday, "I want to work with Jungkook on a global project that will change the world of music." Coincidence? Or was it planned a long time ago? This question is like an open wound for many ARMY. Does this mean Jungkook is leaving BTS? Is this a silent farewell? Without a party, without a farewell greeting, just a silent step in an airport filled with secrets. As the 8-second blurry video went viral on Twitter showing Jungkook's quick steps toward a black van outside the airport exit, millions of eyes wept and wondered, why now? Why Tokyo? One sentence heard from the video, although vague, managed to make the fans' hearts stop. I need to do this on my own. Is it about independence? About freedom? Or about the wounds that have been hidden behind the smiles and cheers of fans? Shortly after, an official account from the tech company, which has never previously touched on international artists, posted a mysterious tweet. What if the world's voice finds its new home here? Hashtag Tokyo Vision, hashtag New Era Coming. No one named Jungkook. But the whole world knows there is no voice that is more synonymous with this generation than the voice of the Busan-born man. And the most painful question finally broke out. Is Jungkook trying to escape? If there really is an offer to get out of the contract, or even just a sabbatical from everything that binds him, does that mean something has changed in Jungkook's heart? Will the pressure, the hurt, or even the invisible loneliness of the cameras finally make him consider not returning? Jungkook always looked strong. But is he really okay? A former staff member from the early BTS era once said in a small podcast that was deleted shortly after it aired, Jungkook, he always had his own way of finding freedom. We just haven't seen him this far. And now we see it. In Tokyo. Alone. In silence. With messages that can only be interpreted through gestures and mysteries that have not yet opened. While fans are trying to understand, calm down, and hope that this is just part of a larger project, the question still hangs like a black cloud over everyone's head. Is Jungkook still ours? Or have we already begun to lose it unconsciously? We will probably see an official statement in a few days. Or maybe you'll never hear the truth. But one thing is for sure, Jungkook's presence in Tokyo is no ordinary visit. This is the beginning of something big. And maybe the beginning of a breakup that we didn't ask for, we didn't expect, but maybe we couldn't avoid. Tokyo became the stage. The world becomes a spectator. And Jungkook may be writing a new chapter in his life alone for the first time. And US? One can only wonder with bated breath, what exactly will happen after this? And if it's not BTS anymore, are we ready to accept that fact? Time seems to have stopped since the video went viral. The Korean media remained silent. HYBE remained silent. There were no clarifications, no statements, not even attempts to calm the turmoil that began to burn the emotions of the fans. And behind that silence came louder and louder the voice of suspicion. ARMY in Japan, who witnessed Jungkook's arrival firsthand, began to share confessions that made goosebumps. Some said seeing Jungkook come out of the airport with a cold face and eyes that were like holding back the storm. Even a taxi driver in Tokyo who drove the black van said nervously, he didn't say a word, just sit in the back. But the aura is different, as if he was closing something big inside himself. Is it about anger? Disappointment? Or is it a decision he has to make on his own? And at a time when all parties can only speculate, a digital trace of the artist manager's account on LinkedIn appeared that updated his status with a sentence too glaring to be called a coincidence. The future of music is moving east. Can't say more yet, but Tokyo holds the key. The sentence immediately invited a flood of comments from the ARMY and was soon deleted. But screenshots have been circulating everywhere, igniting unquenchable embers. How could a BTS member go on an international trip during his military service if there were no major forces working behind the scenes? And more importantly, if HYBE herself was not behind the decision, who allowed it? One name is emerging in the shadows, a Japanese tech entertainment company that has connections with global streaming platforms and has just acquired one of Asia's major music agencies. They are known as silent players. They don't look for the spotlight, but always manage to get what they're after. And if it is true that they are trying to recruit Jungkook, the question is no longer why, but what will Jungkook have left to accept the offer? Does this mean he's leaving BTS? That question haunts every step of the ARMY. For not once has Jungkook shown a desire to explore his own identity beyond the big name attached to him. In several interviews prior to his enlistment, he admitted that he wanted to find personal color, learn about the industry in an unusual way, and even said, maybe someday I'll do something really for myself. No camera, no script, no demands. Now, all those words are like pieces of a puzzle that slowly begin to form a big picture map of Tokyo, and in the midst of this chaos, one thing happened that made all theories even more absurd. One of the people in charge of the military division in Korea reportedly took an unexpected leave of absence, just hours after news of Jungkook's whereabouts abroad spread. There is no official reason, no description, but everyone knows there are no coincidences in a world like this. Some observers have even speculated that the visit could be part of a diplomatic deal or high-level business negotiations involving Jungkook's status as a national cultural asset. This certainly opens up even greater speculation. Is the state itself involved in a secret project involving Jungkook? Whatever the reason, one thing is certain. Something is being planned. Something that wasn't ready to be announced, but important enough that everyone kept their mouths shut as if their lives depended. But the night was not only colored by silence. At around 2 a.m., a hotel staffer reportedly saw several people in formal suits coming out of the hallway leading to the penthouse. Their faces were covered in masks and hats, but their body language, hurried, stiff, and occasionally throwing nervous glances at each other, said something was going on. Nobody knows who they are. But surprisingly, a few hours later, there was a black car coming again. This time with diplomatic plates. What's going on behind the hotel walls? Why would an idol who is supposed to be serving in the military be able to receive visits from company representatives and, allegedly, business delegations from abroad? And if it is true that this is the beginning of great negotiations, what exactly is being negotiated? More surprisingly, some netizens in the Korean community found that in recent weeks, Jungkook's name no longer appears in military weekly reports. Even a former military administration staffer said anonymously that the data of some big artists' names like missing from the rotation report system, including Jungkook. Is this a system error? Or is there an intervention? No one dared to answer. On the other hand, in Japan, local media began to speculate. One of Shibuya's entertainment technology companies, a notoriously secretive company that has investment funds from Silicon Valley's big networks, has held secret meetings with the biggest Korean stars in transition. They don't name names, but everyone knows no other Korean star is in Tokyo besides Jungkook. The biggest question resonates. Is Jungkook being negotiated to become the global face of Japan's digital music revolution? And if so, does HYB know? Or is it Jungkook's stealthy move to take charge of his own life, break the bonds that have held him back, and forge a new identity free from the constraints of the system? If true, then it's not just a personal decision. It was an explosion that could destroy the foundations of the current Korean entertainment industry. Shortly after this rumor surfaced, fans began to recall Jungkook's words on the last broadcast before his enlistment when he said in a deep voice, "I want to live not only as part of something big, but also as someone who can choose his own path." Those words now resonate like prophecies, and even more astonishingly, a person from within HYB's environment who declined to be named said that Jungkook had already turned down 2 major BTS projects scheduled for the end of next year. The refusal was said to have shocked management, which then gave rise to internal tensions between staff, creative directors, and military representatives. Does this mean that Jungkook has already made a decision? And if it's true that he chose Tokyo as his new starting point, is this the end of the BTS era as we know it? Imagine, Jungkook, the idol who has always been considered the most obedient, the most loyal, is now the center of the storm. And not because of a scandal, but because of his courage, he took a step that no one dared to take. Armies around the world are divided. Someone told him to follow his heart, but others feel betrayed. Some even cried on the live broadcast, saying that they felt like they were left without explanation. But what if it's not about treason? What if this was the silent cry of someone who had been living in a golden cage all this time? What if Jungkook never had a choice before, and now, when he finally has a chance to decide his own destiny, we ask him to stay, to remain ours? In the midst of all this chaos, a post on a Japanese forum gave rise to a new theory. An anonymous employee claims that the company he works for is putting together a collaborative project called NeoStage, a revolutionary entertainment platform that combines artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and live performances from the world's top artists. And the first name on their internal list is Jungkook. The last sentence in the upload makes the heart of whoever reads it beat faster. He will be the first and the only one. NeoStage doesn't need BTS. They just need Jungkook. Is this real, or just a virtual sensation? But whatever the answer, one thing is certain. Jungkook's movement is no ordinary movement. This is not a diplomatic visit. It's not just a collaboration. This is a silent rebellion. And in that silence, the world began to change. HYB's side still hasn't spoken. No statement. There is no clarification. But that's exactly what makes it all the more fiery. Because silence can mean two things: not knowing, or no, but powerless. And in that uncertainty, one sentence is again widely circulated among fans. An old phrase from Jungkook, which once only sounded like a personal confession, but now feels like a warning. "I will always love